I mean, nobody's going to see this, but before we started this interview, I was sat here staring at my phone.
We know. We saw you.
We saw you.
We saw you looking down. We were screaming.
I think you should put it in the interview, actually.
I think the
it's
article was
so
about
good.
you.
I think it's so
There's
good.
footage of us screaming for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
help us! Look away from your phone! Help! No! Look at us!
I think it'll kind of
Which is, I feel like in
viral.
real life, that is what would happen when people are getting hurt.
Guys, Companion was awesome. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me about it today.
Of course, thank you.
Thanks for looking up.
I'm doing my best here. I was reading an article the other day, and I saw that right now Americans are spending less time together, like literally together, than ever before. And in a time where a movie like Companion came out, I was curious if living in this world, this headspace of Companion, added any new perspective to like the loneliness that is being generated for so many people in a time where we're connecting with like AI and chatbots and through dating apps.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think even filming, I was so aware of the message about loneliness and how we're so disconnected that I feel like we all kind of made it a bit of an extra effort to not be on our phones the whole time on set and to just put our phones away in between takes and just talk and hang out and make little dances to Britney Spears songs.
Yeah, it was nice. I think we kind of were going, and we were also going through our personal life. People were in relationships, going through like, the love element was also on set. We're going through our personal relationships at the same time and incorporating that. And looking back, we're not the people that we are today that we were when we were filming this movie.
No.
And how we've grown and how that's what we need as humans. We grow and we evolve, but so does technology, and that could be dangerous. Yeah, it's scary.
I mean, nobody's going to see this, but before we started this interview, I was sat here staring at my phone.
We know. We saw you.
We saw you.
We saw you looking down. We were screaming.
I think you should put it in the interview, actually.
I think the article
it's
was
so
about
good.
you.
I think it's so
There's
good.
footage of us screaming for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, we
help
see-
us!
help us.
Look away from your phone! Help! No! Look at us!
I think it'll kind of
Which is, I
viral.
feel like in real life, that is what would happen when people are getting hurt. Like, there are people literally on the ground and people are just
On
like
their phone.
recording it. And you're like, dude, do something.
Yeah.
We're literally like I should say that was intentional just to prove the point of we are missing stuff because we're just on our phones.
You
Like,
should.
There we go. What a beautiful
it was totally
poetic
intentional.
turnaround.
Do it. Edit it.
Okay, now all that said, there are cons, but there are probably also pros. Maybe what would you say would be the pros and cons of a companion like what we see in this movie?
A pro would be that people who are lonely would, find some kind of closure in that way. But a con would be that where do we draw the line, and how do we start using those things and weaponizing that technology to cause some harm or hurt someone or get something that we want that's not ours? And so there's those pros and cons. I think.
And also just overall like lose our connection to humans and having those real conversations. I think it would make us all a lot more socially inept.
I think
Definitely.
a pro is maybe some things that we could inflict any kind of harm onto a robot instead of doing it to a human. If someone had some impulsions that they had to maybe work through or like had some stuff that they have trouble with, maybe it would be better to do that with a companion bot. But I also think it's just gonna cause us to be even more disconnected and cut off from human connection, and that ultimately will just lead to more scariness and darkness.
That is such an interesting perspective because you think about how like social media and just things that are consumed online are impacting us now. If it's instead there's like an outlet for it, but that would be interesting. But if we were in a world where these companion bots existed, is it considered cheating on your significant other if it's with like a kind of sentient robot? Where
Yes.
do we draw the line?
I think yes.
Well, I think that's what's interesting about this movie is that I think whoever watches it can make their own assumptions and decisions about it, but I think that really just kind of comes to your own morality and what your moral compass tells you. So I think it's really like to each their own.
Yeah, because where do you draw the line if you're invested emotionally in this robot
Right.
or in this companion? Are you cheating emotionally on your partner?
Right.
So that's a conversation for you and your partner to have.
Right.
Or maybe have the
Yeah.
companion join the partnership.
Yeah, threesome.
Threesome.
But it's true. Like if you're texting somebody and there's no even face-to-face contact or physical contact, who's to say what is worse? I mean, honestly, I don't know. I draw. Sometimes I go back and forth of what I think is worse.
This is a cautionary tale right here. We are one scorned companion away from Terminator. So
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for the
Thank you
time.
so
The movie
much.
is awesome, and you guys rocking it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.